In this video, let's go over how to add your PSModulePath in PowerShell Core. By default, PowerShell Core comes with a PSModulePath, which includes your user module path under Documents, Program Files PowerShell module path. Note that these are not the Windows PowerShell module paths. And finally, the module path in Program Files PowerShell, specific to the version of PowerShell that you are running. Now, if we run get command and pipe it to measure object, it will show us that there are 426 commands available. Let's go ahead and take a look at Windows PowerShell. When we look at the PSModulePath, it looks very similar, except it is using the Windows PowerShell paths instead of just PowerShell. You will also notice that the last entry points to a modules folder, which is under the Windows System32 folder. That wasn't present in PowerShell Core by design. Some of those modules are not compatible with PowerShell Core. This is the folder where Windows PowerShell stores its built-in modules and commandlets. Now let's say you feel like throwing caution to the wind, or maybe there are some commands that you use in Windows PowerShell that you know work in PowerShell Core, and you want to be able to use them. To do this, we need to add our Windows PowerShell module path in PowerShell Core. First, let's take a look at where Windows PowerShell stores its PSModulePath. The PSModulePath is stored in the registry in this location. Let's take a look at that value and store it in a variable. There's our Windows System32 modules folder. That is the path we want to add to our PowerShell Core PSModulePath. Now I'm going to take it a step further. If you remember, none of the Windows PowerShell module paths under Program Files or my user profile were in the PowerShell Core PSModulePath. You can leave those out, but I want to add those too, just so I have them available when I'm using PowerShell Core. So I'm going to put those three paths in a string, and I'm going to use plus equals to add them to my PSModulePath. I'm going to go ahead and store my PSModulePath in this variable in PowerShell Core. Now let's copy the line that adds our paths to the PSModulePath. Now let's take a look at our PSModulePath in PowerShell Core. We now have our Windows PowerShell paths available. And if I run get command again, you can see that we have a lot more commands available to us. Now keep in mind that not all of those commands are guaranteed to work in PowerShell Core. Also keep in mind that these changes are not persistent, so the next time you open a new PowerShell Core console, you would need to run those commands again. Alternatively, you could add that code to your profile script. Before I go, I just wanted to show you one more thing. If that seems like a lot of work, somebody out there created a module just for this task called WindowsPSModulePath. Let's go ahead and open an administrative PowerShell Core console. Now, let's install that module. That module has one command, add WindowsPSModulePath. Before I run that, let's take a look at our current PSModulePath. Now let's run add WindowsPSModulePath, and let's look at the PSModulePath again. It basically did all the work for us. So now you have a couple options. That was how to add your PSModulePath in PowerShell Core.